Hey everyone, StarNi here. For today's video, we're gonna be picking three random BL characters from the wheel. Now, the names that I added on this wheel are some of the characters that I've wanted to draw for a very long time, and I didn't have the time, so now we're doing it. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, everyone, and let's get started. For our first character, let's see who we get. Oh, we got Shin from Kingsmaker. Now, I already did the sketch prior for the characters that we're going to be drawing today, since we're going to be drawing three of them. Three from the wheel. And that's a lot of characters for one video. I added Shin on the wheel because I love the story and how his character is portrayed in the story. He looks very smart, very regal, and he's more, how do I say this, more refined compared to the real royalty there. Now, for those of you who don't know, Shin is from the manhwa called Kingsmaker. Now, Kingsmaker is a story about a boy named Wolfgang Golden Leonard, the fourth prince of a kingdom. He returns to the palace after years of living in hiding. He rejects everything about his new royal life but is intrigued by the mysterious and dutiful Shin So-hyuk. Now, Shin is kept for the king's how do I explain this? Some uh okay, for safety purposes, let's just say entertainment. You go read the story just so you can know it. Okay, as Volgam slowly opens up and learns the way of the palace, Soyuk begins to see something special about the wild, unkept, and stubborn young prince. As a BL fan for a very long time, I found it rare to come across a BL comic with such an engaging and intricate plot with a small focus on romance. I was anticipating a lot lighter read, but this manhwa took me on a roller coaster of emotions, and it doesn't look like I'll be getting down anytime soon because I've grown emotionally and invested in the characters, and I love how they develop through the stories. And especially, let's not forget about the setting of the story. You see those big, gold castle? Like, that is very fascinating. I wanted to try drawing that, but I feel like it's very hard. And yeah, maybe sometime in the future, I'll try it. Okay, I've been talking too much about the story. Now let's focus with what we're doing right now. So, as you can see, we're just doing the line arts. We're trying to follow my first sketch so that it'll be easier for me and to have an accurate lines. Keep in mind that every time we do a line art, don't rely too much on your sketch, because sometimes your sketch won't be, how do I say this, accurate, and sometimes it'll look wonky if you keep following it with your line art. So try to do a firm line whenever you do your line art, because supposedly whenever we do sketches, it's just a guide for us so that we know how our piece will look like, and after that it's up to us how are we gonna do it, and just don't rely too much on the sketch. You know how when we draw our pieces, we're stuck in this bubble, like nobody can disturb us whenever we're drawing, and we all know that art has no rules. It's up to you how are you gonna portray your own imagination, how are you gonna show it, because sometimes we get pressured from other people's process on how they do their art. Like we see them they're doing straight lines in just one attempt, or they're drawing perfect circles, and whenever we try doing that, it takes us ages to do it. Just want to say we all grow in our own paces, and let's not compare ourselves to others because we don't know what they've been through just to get to where they are. Now we're on to putting details on the skin, and I've learned my lesson from my last video, that I should use more saturated and dark colors whenever I do my coloring and my shading. And I tried doing that throughout the video, and I was so happy with the outcome. Like it works very well, and now I just have to practice more doing it, and so that I can familiarize myself. Because I'm a chicken, okay? I'm a chicken. I keep putting light colors, and I should stop doing it. I should train my eyes that okay, dark colors are okay. They help the lights and shadows in your piece. And I need to familiarize myself with that. Whenever I put the lights, like I can't see the difference. I can't see the difference whenever I put my light colors, because the base color is already light. Now all I have to do is put the shadows. That's why I rely so much on editing the hue and saturation just to get the perfect color. I think the perfect colors. And I'm still learning, and I practice my color theory and those stuff. If you guys are wondering why Shin is holding a baguette here, it's because like my concept for this video is putting BL characters in a cafe, like a cafe team. Like some of them are barista, some of them are baker, and Shin is one of the baker there, and I just had to put the big baguettes. Cause who doesn't like big and long baguettes? Okay, I'll stop. Now in this part, I'm adding more shadows to the parts of the clothes where the light is not shown, just to add more details and make it look more realistic compared to how really natural clothing folds look like. Like I'm still studying how to do it, and I have a lot to learn about it. When I tried studying clothing folds, I saw a lot of techniques on how they do it, and I'm still trying to put it into practice. We're just adding more details to the baguette since it's one of our focal points. Like we want our viewers to look at the bread and Sheen's face. So I just put up a reference from Google on how baguettes really look like, and I saw that they're putting this like they have this white thing and I don't know what, I think it's flour. Before I forget, happy Pride Month to everyone. So now we're doing a rainbow cake since we're doing it in the middle of Pride Month. This is the time to show your real colors and who you really are, and be proud of what makes you happy, and stand for what is right. Live life to the fullest, everyone. Don't stress yourself just so you could fit with other people. If they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. That's how it works. So just stick with the people who really care for you, who really loves you for who you really are. Because they're the people who will support you through your endeavors and through your problems. So here, I just grouped the layers for Shin's colors, and I moved it to the right so it will give the effect of a reflection since Shin is leaning on a window. Whenever I put highlights on my art pieces, I usually use Add Glow, It's like color dodge, but for me it's easier to use. And sometimes I use color dodge, but usually it's like in the ending part, whenever I do my finishing touches. For the finishing touches, we're just adding like this blur city background and checking if the multiplier is okay and if the light is good. I hope you guys like the result of how I put Shin in a bigger outfit. So ladies and gentlemen, here's our first piece. Let's pick the second character. Oh, Chanwo from BJ Alex. Since doing line art is a little bit boring, I just jumped onto coloring in the base colors. I was so happy when I got Chanwo from the wheel because he's one of the characters that I was looking forward to drawing for a very long time. And whenever I try to draw him, there's just a big pressure for me to make him look good. And since I got him in the wheel, there's no turning back now. Ochanwo is a side character from the BL manhwa called BJ Alex. BJ Alex is a story about a boy named Donghyun. Every night he locks himself up in his room, grabs a box of tissues, and watches a live camboy show hosted by BJ Alex. Timid Donghyun admires not only Alex's ripped body, but his candor in sharing his blank experiences with viewers. One night, Donghyun downs too many drinks at a school networking event and passes out. When he wakes up, he's in bed staring up at a shirtless hunk who looks awful lot like Alex. So the story about this main couple is kind of like, no, it's more of like a streamer and a fan relationship. And it's good, it's a really good chemistry. I want to remind you all that the story is a little bit on the wild side, although the character development is so good, it's so nice how the story developed through the chapters, through the plot. But yeah, I just want to give you a heads up, it's a wild story, if you know what I mean. So if it's your first time, I mean, it's okay if it's your first time, but just have an open, just be prepared, okay? Shading the parts of the clothing and the hair didn't give me really a hard time since I understood where the light's coming from and what parts I wanted to be dark. And I hope you noticed that rainbow cup that I did just for Pride Month. And there's a white substance spilling. It's up to you. It's up to your imagination on what it is. But for me, that's milk, okay? That's milk. But it's up to your wild imagination. I hope you like this little portrait I did. So here's Chanwo from BJ Alex, our second piece. Now we are on to our last character, so who will it be? Felix from Hold Me Tight! Remember when I said earlier for the past two artworks I did that I love their characters so much? Well, I take it back. This is my favorite out of all of them. More than Chanwo, I look forward to drawing Felix because, well, first of all, drawing him in a maid outfit, it's not really creative because we've already seen in the manhwa he already wore it, but being able to experience drawing it for myself. It's so cool while doing it. This is one of the examples of having too much power is also dangerous for you. As artists, we can draw whatever we want from our imagination. We just need a little help from references. Felix is from the BL manhwa called Hold Me Tight. Now here is a little summary. Every day of Giovanni's life has been cold. Despite the scorching summers, sunny springs, despite being the president of an uber-rich company, he is incapable of feeling warmth, numb to it all. Then he met Felix, shy and seemingly innocent. Felix's touch is the first heat Giovanni's felt in a lifetime. Lust or love, Giovanni hires him as his personal bodyguard. But are Felix's true motives so warm-hearted? This is one of the stories that I highly recommend if it's your first time. Not only the plot is so wholesome, but they are one of the cutest couple I have ever read as of the moment. And I've read a lot of DL manhwas, but this one hits different. Now, why did I do a maid outfit for Felix when it's already drawn by the artist? The author, I mean. Simply because our concept for this video is putting BL characters in a cafe scene, and one thing came to my mind is a maid cafe. And I just had to put him there. So now we're here. I just want to give a really quick tip. Do you see all those frills that I put on the outfit? That's actually just a brush from the Clip Studio asset. I'll leave the what is it called? The ID at the description, so you guys can check it out. And I just use a lot of asset whenever I do pieces like this, so it won't give me a hard time, and I'll have a quicker and a more efficient result. Now I have nothing much to say for shading the skin. I just made sure that when I did the shading, it won't look muddy. Later on, we will adjust the saturation for the base color and the shadows just to, keep it in harmony. I realize so much in adjusting with saturation and luminosity when I do my art piece, because I just like I said earlier, I use very super light colors, and if you want your piece to look a little realistic or look like for a portrait, you gotta make sure that it's close to a real life human skin. And this is where the study for color theory comes in, and your knowledge about mixing colors. It's a whole another study. Doing art is both enjoying and stressful, because it's stressful because you gotta learn a lot of stuff. You gotta study a lot if you want to be good. I read this quote somewhere. It says, "You can't do something if you haven't learned it." So don't be pressured if you can't do this particular thing. Let's say you can't do clothing folds, or you can't draw a natural hair flow. Well, that just means you haven't learned it yet. Then go study it. Always put positive thoughts on your brain, because sometimes it affects our project, our work, if we get too stressful and we lose the inspiration to do it. Whenever I feel down with my art and I feel like I'm I'm getting left behind. I've been drawing for like years and I'm not improving very well. Just look, I always look at my old and past arts and I compare them, and I'm very proud of where I've come from. Like, I can proudly say I've learned most of the basics of art, and now I just need to improve it and master it. Because let's be honest, drawing is not easy because you have to do different studies. You have to do anatomy, color theory, and nature or clothing folds or something like that. But we still do it because it's something that we love doing. Even though it's stressful, it has a lot of pressure, it puts us in mental breakdowns, we still do it because we love what we're doing. So the next time you feel down about your art and you feel like you're not moving forward, always think about the reason why you started drawing. Why are you putting yourself into this much work when you could just be sitting around, lying down, playing games? That's the most important tip I could give. Always think of your inspiration because it will bring you to your end goal. So here in this part, we're just adding some spilled coffee because you see how Felix is positioned kneeling down the floor? Well, the story here is he slipped and dropped a cup of coffee on the floor, and that's eventually the position he's in. Now we're just putting the ambience of the piece and putting it all together, making sure that the background and the shading of our subject is working together. And yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed today's video drawing three random veil bottoms from our magical roulette. If you would like to see more of this kinds of video, make sure to comment down below and don't forget to subscribe and like. And we are now drawing to the end, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you for watching. I've had a lot of fun doing these, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye!